aside from the fact that I was getting ready to get shot in the head, was I played my final scene with a dog.
Yep.
And when you play a scene with a dog, the scene is never acceptable if the dog isn't. So if he's looking the wrong way, you can be giving an Oscar-worthy performance, and they don't care. Right. The dog's looking the other way.
Right.
Somebody get the dog to look this way. Okay. Oh, well, I stumbled over 3 lines there. We don't care. The dog was looking this way. So it was an interesting day. I was angry. I don't know why I was angry. I'd been given one of the greatest gifts an actor could ever get with that show, but I was angry that morning, and I was the only person from the regular cast who was called. I was getting shot by an extra, and
right, okay,
the indignity of it,
and
right,
yeah, I want to be shot by somebody I know.
Yes,
no, we were setting up for the first take, and I looked out. And despite the fact that none of them had been called, the entire cast was standing there to watch my final scene.
God, that's so sweet.
So I said grace. I went, hey, God. Whoa.
I don't remember the initial interview for the Brady Bunch.
Elizabeth Taylor was wearing a $4 million ring. I said, oh, could I try it on? She said, no.
And Ed gets on and he said, now for the youngsters next week, Tony Jones and the Spondells.
That's one of the best speeches ever given by a father to anybody. And it just happens to have been on the Munsters.
Just As Go was one of the first real guitar songs after the disco and ballad craze of the 70s.
We're building upon the shoulders of giants. And
talk about a media pack.
Well, that's exactly it.
Welcome to Media Path Podcast. I'm Lisa Arch.
I'm Louise Palanker.
This is going to be one of those interviews where we get a lot of comments about how we didn't cover enough or ask the right questions because Jim Beaver has seemingly lived 1,000 lives on and off screen, and we couldn't possibly research all of it even if we lived 1,000 lives. So I ask the audience's forgiveness in advance.
Yeah, and the good news for you guys is that, yes, you do know more about Supernatural than we do. You win, we concede, you're the expert.
Yep, and the boys. Jim has graced us with his brilliant performances in so many iconic shows. Our heads are literally swimming with where to begin. And not only that, the man can write his ass off, Weezy. We'll get to him soon, but first we have some recommendations. Weezy?
Oh, so I would like to recommend the 7th episode of Life, Larry, and the Pursuit of Happiness. You can watch the whole thing if you choose to, but like specifically your assignment is to watch the 7th episode, which features our own Lisa Arch as First Lady Anna Harrison, the wife of William Henry Harrison, our 9th president, Old Tippecanoe, who made the mistake of not wearing an overcoat during his inaugural address.
Clearly did not have a Jewish mother.
And spoiler alert, he up and dies within 9 days. Am I?
Is it 9?
It's, I guess Google would know. But anyway, you were in period garb.
I was.
So tell us more.
Listen, I had a blast. Getting to work with Larry again after Curb Your Enthusiasm was spectacular. There were some incredibly talented people in this scene, and it was so much fun. I do not think it is my most attractive part, but, you know, it's okay. It's not about looking good. It's about...
Well, you were a woman who was in terror over the fate of your dear husband who had come down with pneumonia. How many readings did you attempt or try out in the mirror of the line, "Do you have enough leeches?"
I just let it come to me,
Did
Louise.
you?
Yeah, I drew upon previous experiences with...
Drew being the key word.
Yes. Oh, very good. Yes, but it was a blast. And yeah, everybody go watch it. Super fun.
Yeah, and your husband is played by Fred Malamud. Every new scene, they make him a little bit more pallid.
Grayer.
Yeah,
yes.
He gets super gray.
Yes.
And then he's just...
And I just look worse and worse because my Botox is fading just a little bit more with every hour.
Right. Well, you know, you're in a state of desperation. But I think the lesson here is if your campaign slogan includes the vice president, he's going to become president. So their campaign slogan was Tippy Canoe and Tyler too.
Right. So never add the wise.
No, because you want it, you don't go into the theater knowing the names of all of the understudies.
True.
You want to we're going to be with Tippy Canoe.
I honestly think more importantly, wear a jacket if it's cold.
Wear a jacket. Come on.
That's all.
WH. Let's go. All right. So I was watching Sterling Point, which is the hot new summer fun coming of age saga on Prime, in which the known universe of 17-year-old Annie from NYC is shattered when she learns that her recently departed grandfather has left her and her twin brother an island in Canada. Cut to Annie journeying by seaplane to said island in Canada, where she finds herself by losing herself in family secrets, new friends, budding romances, and please note that in Muskoka, Canada, the boys are as pretty as the scenery. What's so likable about the series is that the snappy dialogue is funny and natural in ways where you just know that in order to pull off this fun, sassy timing, the actors must be completely engaging and hilarious in real life. That plus the serious moments are thoughtful and still, and we get to absorb and share the weight of powerful discoveries and meaningful lessons. Sterling Point is on Prime.
I watched the trailer. I am intrigued.
Yeah, I'm liking it. It's fun.
All right. I don't have a recommendation this week.
Our recommendation was your appearance.
Okay, good. Because I didn't have time to watch or read anything because I got way too involved in watching Jim Beaver's performances. And I found myself enjoying genres I would not normally indulge in.
For example?
Well, I'll tell you later, but that's not part of my intro.
Okay, go ahead then.
Jim Beaver has more than 200 credits on IMDb, has written numerous books, plays, and articles, and has appeared in shows that have such rabid fans, I'm not sure how he's able to go anywhere without getting mobbed. Mm-hmm. From Deadwood to Justified, Breaking Bad to Better Call Saul, and Supernatural to The Boys, Jim brings his unique mixture of lovable, dangerous, vulnerable, and cunning to every character he portrays. Please welcome Jim Beaver.
That was such good writing, Lisa.
Why, thank you.
That was well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about, but it was well done.
Okay, Jim, listen, I am not blowing smoke when I say I always do my research.
Yeah.
We've established that.
We do.
I spent so many hours watching your stuff, and literally, you made me fall in love with stuff I do not normally enjoy.
Well, I'm delighted.
Sure. I don't know. Are you?
Does that make
maybe
me a
you're
groomer
scared.
or
I think
what?
she's a demon fan now.
I really like Louise and I will both openly admit we are not fans of violence.
I can't do gore.
Yeah. We're not super into, no pun intended, supernatural stuff.
Oh no, I like supernatural
but
stuff.
not gory.
Just not heads being severed.
Right. So
What did you find to watch?
this is what I'm saying. It didn't matter because I just kept watching and then I started really digging it. That's what I'm saying. But we're going to start. Here's the thing. Let's start. I just want to get this one question out of the way and then we'll delve into the work. I believe you didn't fall in love with acting until college.
Roughly speaking, yeah.
Okay, you had already been to Vietnam, correct? And thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
And you had a lot of crazy jobs.
Yeah.
Tell us how you found acting and how your life prior, for example, as a Marine and as a blue collar worker informed your acting.
Well, my time as a blue collar worker convinced me that I wanted to do anything other than being a blue collar worker.
You're right.
I got into acting kind of by accident. I had a roommate in college when I first started, after I got out of the service, who asked me to be his scene partner for his audition for the campus players. And we did this scene together, and they asked me to join. And I thought, they don't know what they're getting into. But I didn't think too much of it. But I got cast in a small part in the first play of the year, and I had the first line, and the curtain went up, and I'm standing there on stage, feeling the audience breathing out in front of me, but I can't see them, thinking two things. One, this play doesn't start until I talk.
That's power.
And the other one was, okay, this is what I'm doing the rest of my life.
No.
Yeah, I hadn't said a word.
Before the words even came out of your mouth. I hadn't said a word.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
It was the energy.
It was power.
Whoa.
And it didn't get worse after that. So I never had, I don't think, a single moment where I ever thought I'm going to do something besides this. So
wow, imagine having your epiphany in front of all those people, and it's almost like they shared it with you, and so you have to continue.
Well,
like
I was going to whether they liked it or not.
Yeah.
Which has been my motto throughout my career.
Yes.
I'm doing what I do, and if somebody likes it, fine. If not,
what is the difference between being an actor before the internet and being an actor during the internet in terms of your relationship with your audience?
They couldn't get at me before the internet. I don't. Well, I mean, the internet was fairly long in existence before I reached a point where anybody knew who I was, and so I don't have a lot of experience with people admitting they like my work before that. It's been an interesting ride because of the internet. I made a point fairly early on that I was going to be accessible, and I knew that an awful lot of actors who are specifically on shows that are popular kind of build a wall around themselves and try to keep people out. And there are times I wish I had, but for the most part, I've welcomed interaction with fans, and it's fun. And we get in screaming arguments, and
you get in arguments with your fans?
Oh, good God, yes.
About things that happen on screen, or about what kind of stuff?
Well, I'm political.
Okay.
I don't. That was the other thing. I found social media a way of saying who I am and what I think, and my opinion's no greater or less than anybody else's, but I don't hide it.
Do you ever reach anybody? In other words, we all know that we've been divided. We're maybe being divided on purpose. And so do you ever feel like you've said something that has resonated?
I've been told I have.
Really?
I mean, I've certainly had my share of, die commie pinko pig. But I've had a few people say, I read what you wrote and I never thought of it that way.
Oh.
And those days are few and far between, but they're really personally valuable to me to just feel like, okay, I may be wrong, I may be right, I think I'm right, but somebody listened. And that's, we're in a place where, as you say, there's not a lot of cohesiveness, and we don't always listen. I try to, but I shut people down if they get nasty.
Of course.
There's a reason there's a cornfield.
Right.
I think we can draw the line at name calling, because that's the point at which we've lost our civility.
Yeah. So I'm going to stop that.
Thank you. And that's our show, because we really just wanted to get you to quit calling people names, Jim Beaver.
All right, Dina, in terms of your Jim Beaver deep dive, where did you go first?
You just called me Dina.
Oh.
Does that every
Lisa.
Yes.
Her name's Dina.
Right.
I mix up my two sisters.
Once in like 1,000.
Yeah,
Lisa.
go ahead. Yep.
So it used to be Fritz. Just between you. It used to be like a man, so
Right.
it was easy to
It
tell
was
the difference.
easy to, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, one time Fritz called me Lisa.
Oh, interesting. That must have been after we spent the night
Maybe
together.
we need to move into separate places.
Which one of you is Fritz?
So,
I would be, I guess. Okay, you want to
All
start
right,
over?
Lisa,
Yes.
where did you start? Because I know you had a really busy week. So where did you start your Jim Beaver deep dive?
I started with Deadwood. Okay, so Deadwood is a show that I have never watched, again, because of the violent aspect. My husband has watched every episode and always begged me to watch it with him. I never have. I will now be going back and starting it and watching it from the beginning. That is a promise, because holy crap, it's good. Okay, you play Whitney Ellsworth, who is a gold
Prospector.
miner,
Gold miner.
prospector. I'm going to ask the dumbest question first just to get it out of the way because I am curious. What is it like just in terms of environment working on a show like Deadwood where it just seems filthy and uncomfortable through the entire thing?
Well, the horse manure is real.
I bet.
How do they keep the mud out of the food?
They don't.
They don't.
Is it enjoyable to work on something so gritty?
It is, without any reservation whatsoever, the greatest thing I have ever been associated with as an actor.
Wow.
I would have happily done that show for the rest of my life. Unfortunately, I did it for the rest of my character's life.
Yes.
But, you know, hey.
This is
Spoiler alert.
This is David Milch, right?
Yeah.
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 And you were not originally supposed to be such a big part of the show. Is that correct?
I don't know.
That's what the internet
well,
says.
when I the internet, well,
Right? So it's gotta be
I stand
true.
corrected. I put it this way: I didn't know at the beginning when they hired me. I thought it was for a guest shot on the pilot,
Okay.
and then, but before I ever worked a day, somebody corrected that impression.
Oh.
And said, "No, you're a regular." And I said, "What is that?" Because I wasn't familiar with the term.
Wow.
That's not quite true, but yeah, it.
But before that, you had mostly just done one-offs or a couple
I had
episodes.
I had a series. I'd done a sitcom in the early '90s with Ed Asner, and
Which was that?
It's called Thunder Alley.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And that was a hoot and a wonderful time, but it was, you know, you've now apparently seen a lot of my stuff, and the term gruff but lovable would probably apply to a lot of what I've done.
Just like Ed Asner.
Yeah.
Learn from the master.
I don't compare myself to Ed. But Thunder Alley was my village idiot period.
Okay.
And I was the series moron
Got it.
who said smart things and didn't know it.
Okay. So explain why Deadwood then was so delightful for you.
Well, the writing on Deadwood is the closest thing to Shakespeare I've ever done that isn't Shakespeare.
Yes.
And I adore Shakespeare, and I don't make that comparison lightly.
No.
The richness of the atmosphere that you mentioned, walking through that muddy thoroughfare every day and being covered in muck, it was heaven. It was, and we had a cast of something like 25 regulars, and it was just an extraordinary company of people that I love dearly. I'm still very close. We just had a little reunion lunch recently. You know, the show's been off 20 years, but I think everybody on it felt like we're doing something really special here.
Yeah.
And I paid a lot of attention to the critics, and I won't say we're the best show in the history of television, but we're almost always in the discussion.
Yeah.
And when people are talking about your show as one of the best ever, it gives you a lot of pride. But the fact is, it was the work that it was extraordinary work. It was different from the kind of work I'd ever done. There were, I only saw one complete script in the entire 3 years because, they faxed them to you the night before.
Oh.
Not the scripts, the scenes.
The scenes.
Yeah.
So you're getting the scenes the night before you shoot them with
Sometimes.
that kind of language?
Yeah. And you'd get them about 11 o'clock at night. You'd spend a couple of hours working on them like crazy. You'd come in the next morning at 7 and you'd rehearse them, block them, and then David would come to the set and see what you'd done, and then he'd rewrite it.
Oh my God.
And I thought at first,
Yeah.
I'm going to lose my mind.
Right.
Because I was one of those, what do you mean I can't have the script a month in advance?
Yes.
And slowly but surely I realized he wasn't going to let me die, that we were going to shoot until we got it, and that everything he wrote was easy to memorize because it was so beautifully written.
It's so beautifully written.
And of course, the fact that we were going to shoot it until we got it was the ultimate cause of the demise of the show, because we had a call sheet one day that said day 19 out of 10.
Oh, God.
Did you save that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
Tell us
So-
about Whitney. Oh, were you going to?
No.
Do you have a thought? I thought maybe you could tell us about Whitney's arc.
Well, when we first meet Ellsworth, he's fairly filthy, and he's a heavy drinker, and he's sort of funny and charming, the way the guys who live under the underpasses are sometimes funny and charming. And by the end of the series, he has married the richest woman in town, and I remember probably while we were shooting the pilot, I asked David, what he saw for the character, and he paused for a second, and then he said, "I think Ellsworth may be the soul of the town." And I thought, okay, I can play that. God knows how you play that, but just every scene that came along, I didn't always know what I was saying, because the stuff is rich and intricate, and watch it with the captions.
I was.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I just knew that there was a vision there. It wasn't my vision; it was David Milch's, and it was an exquisite vision. I've never had more fun as an actor. I've never had more feeling that what I do for a living is a worthy thing, and I've always felt that way. But this was the capstone.
When you get a script, presumably the night before, a scene that tells you that this character that I'm assuming you have fallen in love with over several years, this character is going to be killed. What does that feel like? And I also want to know what it feels like to play that scene.
Well, I didn't get it from a script. I had finished shooting for the day and was just, people didn't like to leave the set when they were done. We just liked to hang out with each other. And so I was hanging out, and at one point somebody said, "David's looking for you," and I found him, and he said, "Well, I've been going over and over and over and over on this thing, and there's just no way around it. This guy's got to die.
Oof.
And I said, what guy?
Oh, man.
And he said, Ellsworth. And my soul fell out.
Yeah.
It was, at that time, the second worst day of my life. I have never felt. We had just been picked up for season 4, and I thought the party's going on without me. And, yeah, I was devastated.
Wow.
And then 2 days later, we shot Ellsworth's death scene, and I got the sides the night before, and I read them, and I had no idea what I was talking about because we never saw the script, so we didn't know how scenes interacted with each other.
Right.
And so I was talking to someone about things I didn't know what they were. It was just, say the lines. Say the lines will play it. The downside, aside from the fact that I was getting ready to get shot in the head, was I played my final scene with a dog.
Yep.
And when you play a scene with a dog, the scene is never acceptable if the dog isn't.
Uh-huh.
So if he's looking the wrong way, you can be giving an Oscar-worthy performance, and they don't care.
Right.
The dog's looking the other way.
Right.
Somebody get the dog to look this way. Okay. Oh, well, I stumbled over 3 lines there. We don't care. The dog was looking this way. So it was an interesting day. I was angry. I don't know why I was angry. I'd been given one of the greatest gifts an actor could ever get with that show, but I was angry that morning, and I was the only person from the regular cast who was called. I was getting shot by an extra, and
right, okay,
the indignity of it.
And
right,
yeah, I want to be shot by somebody I know.
Yes,
no, we were setting up for the first take, and I looked out. And despite the fact that none of them had been called, the entire cast was standing there to watch my final scene.
God, that's so sweet.
And then it became, okay, he's not crying in the scene. How do I prevent that?
Right.
So it was, and then of course, they pulled the plug on the show even after having picked it up for season 4.
Right.
And a few weeks later, I got a text from Robin Weigert, who played Calamity Jane, and it just said, "It's all of us now." And so in the end, I didn't feel so bad because I got the Viking funeral.
Yep.
And everybody else just ceased to exist.
Right. Wow.
There may have been some prescience on the part of David Milch.
Yeah. There was. I know he didn't want to end the show.
Mm-hmm.
He had big plans for season 4, and but when he had told me that Ellsworth was going to bite the dust, he said, "I just today sold another series to HBO, and you're going to be on that." Now, David Milch is one of the kindest people I have ever met in my life, and he tells everybody they're going to be on his next show. And he means it when he says it.
Sure.
But it's impossible for him to follow through.
Of course.
So I didn't take this too seriously. But 4 months later, I was on John from Cincinnati on HBO. So
wow.
he kept his word. And that was nice, but it wasn't Deadwood.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like nothing was Deadwood.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing was Deadwood. Wow.
So, and they had asked me to grow a beard because I spent most of my career before this playing cops. And so they asked me to grow a beard. I did. And then just before the show was over, they let me go up to Vancouver to shoot an episode of this fairly new show called Supernatural.
Okay.
And as a result of my doing that, while I was still somewhat connected to Deadwood, I have had a beard for the last 24 years.
And that's because Supernatural wanted you to keep it and so
Yeah.
on and so on?
Yeah. And
How-
everything's, I mean, it, you know, eventually it became camouflage for where my chin used to be. But
I beg to differ with that. I just think that now facial hair or no facial hair, it seems to blend together. Like I honestly don't remember after meeting people whether or not they had facial
Yes.
because it's so common.
Right.
Yeah.
And there some people have the scruffy look, and it's anything and everything. It's just like the length of hair. Like it doesn't matter. Whatever suits you that day, I guess.
If I go long enough, I get the scruffy look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to do a little. We have to do a little grooming at our age, right, Lisa?
Yeah, let's end that conversation right now.
So next you
please.
viewed. Next
I viewed Supernatural.
I've heard of it.
Have you? Mm-hmm. So now we know this overlapped a little bit with Deadwood. So that was all shot in Canada?
yeah.
Okay.
We shot
Deadwood
that in
was shot
Vancouver.
where?
Just north of L.A. in Newhall.
Okay, in Newhall. Wow. Okay. So Supernatural. So this is created by Eric Kripke. You play Bobby Singer, a deeply loyal surrogate father to Sam and Dean Winchester, the leads of the show.
Right.
You're a veteran demon hunter, and what you don't know, you will seek to find, and you help the brothers out in every way possible. So you did 60 episodes across 15 seasons.
69.
Oh, is that true? Mm-hmm. Again, the internet's
I think
a liar.
it's 70, but
Let's go with 70.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
let's say
round up.
70. Let's round up.
Yep.
So I want to discuss 2 episodes in particular. I did watch more than that. And again, we'll probably go back. I'm going to just be honest, and I'm going to get so much shit for this, Weezy.
Yeah.
I was starting to watch it, and I said to my husband, I don't get it. I don't know how people watch these shows. It's like a soap opera. I can't. And then 3 hours later, I am not kidding when I tell you I could have watched the entire series.
Have you slept at all?
Very little. Very little. Thank God I got my hair done yesterday, or today I would be coming in with a baseball hat. So seriously, what a ride. It's so much fun. It's so funny.
yeah.
And this is the thing I think that I've never really let myself grasp about this genre, is it knows itself so well.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why the fans are so rabid.
And the themes, you're watching something supernatural that's fun and that's got this bigness and this elegance, but the themes are so human and so universal.
Yeah.
So that's what people, I think, that's how it gets into their hearts.
The first time I sat down with a group of fans from the show, one of them said something, and there were about 15 or so of us sitting around talking, and this one fan said, well, we'd watch the show even if there weren't monsters on it. And I said, what? He said, no, we watch it for the relationships. And everybody in that group said, absolutely, we don't care about the monsters. I mean, they do.
Of course.
But,
I mean, I guess it's the monsters that bring them to it.
Yes.
But that's also why soap opera kind of came to mind, even though that's it's not the right term, but you're watching a story unfold about several characters' lives, and you are so drawn in by the relationships.
And how interwoven everything
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
And how like a pebble makes ripples that affect everything
Absolutely.
else. So these are crafted. This is storytelling that's beautiful and brilliant.
Yeah.
And fun, and truly funny. Every episode I was laughing. But okay, I want to talk about Weekend at Bobby's, which, what a fun episode, first of all. And I'm glad I watched several before that so I could really get to know your character. But it just basically shows a day in the life of your character and all the crap he has to do to help so many different people.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about that? What it was like shooting that episode?
Well, that one was special in a lot of ways. For one thing, it was the first time I ever carried an episode of our drama. And I've always claimed that the toughest job in acting is being the lead on an hour drama, because you're in practically every scene and you're working 12, 14, 16, 18 hours a day every single day because they can't do the show without you.
Right.
And that had never happened to me. I was a supporting character on the show, and I'd show up, I'd do 2, maybe 3 scenes, and then go home halfway through the day or come in late.
Right.
Weekend at Bobby's, I got my little taste of being the lead, and it's exhausting.
Oh, I bet.
It's exhausting because there's just barely time to fall into bed at night and get up and go do it again for another 12 or 14 hours.
Yep.
And you're never sitting down. It's strenuous. And I loved it. And I have just enough ego to think that a show that is entirely about me is what the show needed.
And I'm sure your fans agree.
Well, I don't care if they do or not.
Exactly.
I do. No, it's my favorite episode, partly because of the uniqueness of the experience, partly because Jensen Ackles, who plays one of the leads on the show, it was his first job as director.
Oh.
And,
wow.
And he was as prepared and perfect at it as anybody I've ever seen, and he'd never done it before. And I thought, this is pretty great,
incredible.
And
I'm assuming you already had a very close relationship with him by this time.
Yeah. Well, Jensen and I went back to Days of Our Lives.
Oh.
He was a kid on it, and I was the local priest for a while. But we had a couple of 3 scenes together. But I don't think he remembered me when I showed up on the Supernatural set. But we quickly became great friends. He and Jared Padalecki and Misha Collins are wonderful colleagues and wonderful friends. And so it was great when Jensen got a shot at directing, and he got more than one because he was really good at it. It was just fun. It was fun to know that every scene is full of juicy stuff for me to play. I like, the Supernatural was in some ways a real far cry from Deadwood in terms of its approach, in terms of its themes and just the general atmosphere. But outside of Deadwood, probably the best dramatic scenes I've ever had in my career were on Supernatural. And of course, we had lots of very funny scenes, but some real deep stuff too that I just dug playing.
Yeah.
And you don't always get that,
Of course.
What parts of Jim did you bring to that episode?
Just a nasty disposition and unreliability, untrustworthiness.
Sure.
It's
heavy drinking.
It's funny. They always refer to Bobby as the town drunk or the drunken uncle, and I think I had like 3 drinks on camera in the entire 15 years of the show. I never had a drunk scene.
Right.
I don't know why they call me that, but it was my offstage
persona that they just brought in.
Well, it's kind of like Fonzie. You don't actually beat anybody up.
No.
Interesting. It's just implied.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was kind of going for a Fonzie thing.
Yeah.
And
there's that scene where you almost comb your hair and then you don't.
Yeah.
I almost find my hair.
I love that you have some very classic lines in every episode, some that are recurring, like calling the boys idiots and saying balls a lot. But there's always certain things that, like, you have a scene with Rufus and you're talking about how monsters are showing up where they don't normally show up. And you say, monsters lately. Is it me or is it weird? And I played that. So I literally replayed that a couple. I just thought it was so great. But you're playing it from such a place of reality.
Well, it's hard to do the material any kind of justice if you're commenting on it.
Of course.
This has got to be what these guys do for a living.
Right.
And in that case, they're so familiar with this world that when something isn't playing out the way it usually does, that even monsters can be weird.
Right. And a demon comes back to life and you're saying to Rufus, did you shoot it with a bamboo shooter?
Mm-hmm.
Did you do this? Did you stab it 7 times? And he's like, 5 times. And you're
No,
like,
it's 7.
Right. But that's the stuff that it's so, you really do buy in. You really buy in. I'm changing as a person. Okay, so now another episode that you really are the crux of is the episode where you die.
Which time?
I guess it's the first time.
Not the first time. The first time only lasted a page.
Oh, is that true? There was a time before this? Before Death's Door?
Back in season 3 or so, I died, and then somebody fixed me.
Okay, so is season 7 your...
Season 7 was the big
one.
The big one.
Because that entire episode is you sort of traveling through your life.
Yeah.
And
but don't give up on the show because I showed up in the next 8 seasons, so don't worry about it.
It's like a soap opera.
It is, yes, exactly. But
there's a twin.
Right. I did go further and I saw you, but it was the scene I saw you in was this is from several years ago. Mm-hmm. Is that how you show up? Is it all the past?
I showed up in flashbacks. They go to heaven one time and run into me.
Oh my God, I have so much watching to do.
There's an alternate universe version of me that doesn't know Sam and Dean.
Oh.
There's, and then, there's and then there was one episode that was a jump back and forth in time in the same house. And I was in the early stuff. And,
okay.
So, they, you don't get this on Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, right. Well, that's what I was going to say is so cool about this genre is as grounded as it is, they can also do whatever the F they want.
Yeah.
It's a universe you can totally play in. So I'm assuming you're getting scripts sometimes that you're like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fun though?
Yeah, almost entirely. I did one season in a wheelchair because I got possessed by a demon and stabbed myself in order to keep from killing my friends.
Sure.
And I was in a wheelchair for most of the season, and I wasn't crazy about that because there's cables all over the set. You have to roll over.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't see your marks. And you don't get to do as much on the show except answer the phone.
Right.
But everything was fun. Everything was fun. The really weird thing about Supernatural was that we ever got an episode finished, because if you've seen any of the gag reels, they're hysterical and they take up possibly more footage than the actual show.
Oh, I'm so excited.
We did 15 seasons. We shot an episode every 8 days. And I don't know how we ever finished one because there was so much goofing around. It was just a laugh fest the whole time. Now, we worked hard.
Right.
We got it done.
Yes.
We did get it done, but I don't know how. I just know sometimes at 3:30 in the morning on Friday night, we're all standing around laughing at something somebody said, and the first AD is going, "Can we should have wrapped up like 2 hours ago. Could you stop laughing and do the scene?"
Oh my God.
It was so much fun.
What a joy.
Yeah.
I mean, to have that, because otherwise those days do go on forever.
Yeah.
So to have that levity must have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's part
gift.
of what makes you punchy too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
God, yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
So when you first read the script for The Boys, what were your thoughts? Because the premise is just like, wow, this is a metaphor.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on the metaphor right away, but neither did a lot of other people who initially liked the show.
Understood.
Oh, that's really funny.
The political aspect of it took a while to really reveal itself. I don't even remember reading the first script. I just Eric Kripke, who created the show, The Boys, was also the creator of Supernatural.
Yeah.
And he's used me in everything he's done since then. And he called up and said, I want you to play the head of the company that creates all these superheroes. And I said, that's great, cool. And then a few days later he called and he said, Amazon says that you don't look like a CEO.
Oh.
So they cast Giancarlo Esposito, and he did a fabulous job. And then Eric, I guess, got back at them by casting me as the President of the United States, which apparently I did look like.
That is hysterical.
So,
Go, Eric.
Go, Eric. Thanks for coming along down the media path, and however you have found your way to us, we would love for you to like and subscribe and give us a nice review because as creators, it is our appointed duty to ask you to do that. You may also want to find us on Instagram and Blue Sky where we are at Media Path Pod, and on Facebook where our show page is Media Path Podcast. If you are listening to our show, we are also a video podcast on YouTube at Media Path Podcast. You can write to us at mediapathpodcast@gmail.com. My TikTok is Louise Palanker where I post behind the scenes peeks and clips from the show. Our website is mediapathpodcast.com. There you can binge episodes and our spicy newsletter. Thank you so much. On with the rest of the show.
And you know about the name Bobby Singer.
Yes.
Yeah. I had done a series in the early 90s called Reasonable Doubts with Mark Harmon and Marley Matlin. And a fellow named Bob Singer was the executive producer and frequent director on that. And 10 years later, he was the one who brought me on to Supernatural.
Oh, so no, I was not aware of this. Okay.
But what he did not have anything to do with was naming my character after himself. It was Eric Kripke has a horribly wonderful sense of humor.
Yeah.
And he put Bob Singer's name on a character, and Bob hated it, I think.
Oh, my God.
And then when the show was finally over, Eric got another show, and he did it again.
And called you Robert Singer
Called
this
me
time.
Robert
Yes.
Singer.
Never
yeah.
not funny.
Yeah,
So,
that is spectacular.
So I've now done 3 different shows as a variation on Robert Bobby Singer.
But totally different characters.
Well, there was a spin-off of Supernatural where I played the same
the
one.
Winchesters,
Yeah, the
right?
Winchesters.
Yes, okay. Mm-hmm. And talk about the Easter eggs in The Boys that are, pointing people back to Supernatural.
Is he supposed to give them away? Or?
Well,
I think
I'm not terribly aware of many of them except for the fact that, especially toward the end, Eric began bringing a lot of Supernatural actors over to be on the show. And in fact, Jensen Ackles has a major part, and he's the star of the spinoff, Vought Rising. There were little things. There was a scene where I'm putting in my underground bunker, and Eric would say, "Say balls." I go, okay, balls.
I think he's just amusing himself.
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
I think so.
Well, probably that is true, but I would also assume that anything that amuses the creator of Supernatural and The Boys are going to amuse the audience.
Yeah. I stuck up balls into an episode of Justified, and the fans, the Supernatural fans who happened to watch Justified went berserk.
I bet.
And the people on Justified didn't know what I was doing. So
I saw that and went, did he just say balls?
you have been deep diving.
I really have, Jim. I swear to God, I wouldn't
Careful,
just say
it's
it.
like a dumpster in there.
And I'm going to do more of it when you're not even a guest on the show, because now I'm so in. It's a problem. There is a line, and I don't know if you caught this, Weezy, but you say if Vought took a shit in the middle of Fifth Avenue, something like no one would pay attention or something like that, which was very reminiscent of
something else we've heard.
of another quote we've heard.
Yeah. Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
I don't think it's a total coincidence that the heavy on the show has a bouffant blonde hairdo.
Right. Right. I really do love that, though. I love the mirroring of what's actually going on in the world.
How people have been manipulated throughout the ages.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it is now that I'm going to say openly to our audience, I hope we have done justice to those two particular shows. I'm sure we have not. But if there's anything, can we say this? Would you be open to, if there's anything we missed or that our audience feels like they wish we would have asked you?
Or we got wrong,
that we can email you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Oh, wonderful.
So anybody wants to say anything to our faces, you come down here. But you let us know, and we will email Jim and get answers for you, maybe even via a quick FaceTime call.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
All right.
I'm very good on FaceTime.
Oh, good. Thank you, Jim.
Because you have a good face.
We're gonna be using you for this purpose. I hope you understand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Boy, oh boy. We're close to the end here.
Well, no, we have to do Justified.
I know. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You play Shelby Parlow, local sheriff, who later we find out is actually
spoiler.
Yeah, but these are shows that haven't been on for years.
Mason, what do you think? At what point do you...
That's the one show I would say don't spoil it.
Don't spoil it. Okay. So
there go all your questions.
Later on to find out that you've never shaved your beard is all I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's all I was going to say. You're with Timothy Oliphant again. How cool is that?
The funniest man in show business.
Is he?
Oh, he's hysterical.
Oh, that's so cool.
And
I love hearing that.
Smart.
Wow.
Yeah.
And handsome. I think that goes without
I don't know about handsome,
saying.
but,
But we do, Jim.
I mean, up close, you would know. So
Yeah.
So I'm going to mention one scene that I don't think will be a spoiler alert, but maybe it will be. You're running for sheriff. Am I allowed to say that? Okay. And there's a scene where these two deputies do not want you to be sheriff. They're planting something in your car at the behest of the person who is already sheriff. You catch them and you're pointing a gun at them and they're pointing guns at you. And you have such bravado and you come up with this great stuff and you get them to go away. And then there's a moment where they leave and you sit and there's just this fear and relief all over your face, which for me, as a fan of Jim Beaver, encapsulated so much of who you are as an actor. It was this beautiful moment of seeing who your character really was.
Well, he was like a lot of people who've been in life-threatening situations. Sometimes you have to pull up a certain amount of bravado to get through them. But then when the threat's over, it's you sit down and shake a bit.
Yeah.
And that seemed like the right choice to make, particularly because it was in the script. And and I'm a strong believer in doing what's in the script.
Sure.
So no, the worst part of that scene was spending, I don't know, 7 hours that night holding that shotgun up.
Oh, my God.
Because they get heavy after a while.
Sure.
But no, it was a great scene. In fact, it's one of the ones that I schlep around to people to show I can still act.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad I pointed that out then.
Yeah, and it's a representative moment that we're all fronting to a certain extent in these moments where we really have to present something that others will accept as truth.
Yes.
Because we're multi-layered, and so that is a version of our truth or a part of our truth. But then when everyone leaves, we can collapse against the door and go like, "Oh my God, I think he just kissed me," or whatever, whatever the moment is, where we're like together until we can not be.
Yes.
Well, the great thing about that scene is that I tell these two interlopers that I'm dying of liver cancer. I don't care if you kill me.
Right.
And that kind of helps send them away. And then the slow release at the end of the scene looks a little like this guy's illness is part of it too. And then it turns out he was bullshitting them.
Right. What a brilliant bluff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
are you willing to play our game?
Wait, I forgot Breaking Bad.
We can do Breaking Bad.
I'm just
and Call Saul, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to do it really quick because, first of all, Breaking Bad, and I always have to tell this story when Breaking Bad comes up. I don't know if you know this. My father was a huge Breaking Bad fan, partly because he had cancer, and watching this man, Breaking Bad. He passed away before the show's conclusion. And when my husband asked him his biggest regret in life, he said that I'm not going to get to see how Breaking Bad ends. Oh. And I am not joking. That is literally a quote from my father.
Well, I believe you.
Yes.
But I also believe that when you get to the other side, all the answers are available.
I'm sure he's seen it.
Yes.
they have VHS in heaven.
Yeah, they do. They have not yet gotten to DVD or Blu-ray. But you play Lawson, who's an illegal arms dealer. Once again, a guy who does his research.
And holds up guns.
But also is really good at his job. Like, watching you forget that you're doing illegal things. You're just really competent. You're a very competent arms dealer. How was that being on that show?
Oh, it was great. I was a huge fan of the show, and it was a weird situation. I was doing an episode of Supernatural, and they asked me to do this one scene in season 4, and I said, "Well, I'm shooting in Vancouver," and they said, "We'll shoot you on Sunday if you fly down." Whoa. And so I did. I came down. I shot it on. I shot it on Sunday. I had a horrible cold, which affected my voice. But I thought, no big deal. It's just a one shot. And then the next season, they brought me back, and I'm like, "Oh, how did I do that voice?"
So you got yourself sick again.
I'm old. Yeah. No, the truth of the matter is in television, nobody much remembers a week later, much less a season later.
Yes, good point.
I mean, on Reasonable Doubts, I got shot with probably the largest handgun ever manufactured. In the next episode, I was okay, and I rubbed my shoulder in one scene because I thought I gotta at least acknowledge that I got blown across a room. And the director said, no, nobody will remember. Don't do that.
Oh.
So.
I love it.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't think the voice mattered much.
Right.
It was terrific. It was wonderful working with Brian. It was, and then working with, criminy, I'm old, Jonathan Banks on Better Call Saul in the same character.
Mike Ehrmantraut.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ehrmantraut, yeah. And, terrific actors and terrific people. And, I'd fly to Albuquerque, do a scene, and go home. And then, but the weird thing to me is, and I hope this doesn't sound like I'm tooting my own horn, but I mean, I've done a lot of stuff some of which we've mentioned. I have probably had more good comment on that first scene in Breaking Bad than anything else I've ever done.
Huh.
It's weird.
What do you attribute it to?
Mistaken identity? I don't know. People like that scene.
Yeah.
And it seems to have something to do with what you mentioned, the professionalism of the character. And I approached it as, this is what this guy does every day. He's not trying to show off. He doesn't really care if he makes this sale or
Right.
not. He's just there to carry on some business.
Right.
And he gets just a little bit involved by his realization that Walter White doesn't really know what he's doing.
Yes.
And I don't always give advice to my customers, but I would suggest
Yes.
it's such a down to earth character.
Yes. Yeah.
Without having a huge agenda other than to sell some guns.
Yeah.
But as he says in that scene, to the effect that he depends to a certain extent on repeat customers, and when his customers get killed first time out, they don't come back.
Right.
So,
right.
I think just being down to earth was the key to that guy.
Yeah, because in Better Call Saul, Mike offers you money. He's not going to take guns, and you're like, nope. Again, repeat business is where I make my money.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I'll get you next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just an honest guy.
Yeah.
He's just a good honest guy doing a day's work.
Mm-hmm. Taking care of business.
Right. All right.
So
game.
we have a game called IMDb Roulette, and this is where we get to ask you about some of your acting appearances that maybe you usually don't get asked about. We spun your IMDb reel. Let's start with Dallas. You were in 2 episodes of Dallas. Do you remember who you played?
Yeah, because the very fact that they're on IMDb means they're exaggerated.
Sure.
That was
fair.
That was my first on-camera work, I think. Oh. I was living in Dallas, and they were shooting the series there. We're talking about the old version back in the 70s.
Larry Hagman.
And I got hired to do a couple of bits. One of them, I'm just a guy in a restaurant at another table, and you've seen those people a million times. And then the other one, I was Tina Louise's gardener, and those 2 roles catapulted me to where I am now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're credited as Julie Gray's gardener and uncredited diner.
Yep.
Which
uncredited diner, I really think is some of your best work.
Well,
yeah.
Some of his best work.
Yeah.
Exactly. So were you nervous being on the set of Dallas, or were you just thinking, okay, I guess
I was
launching?
excited. I was a movie nut. I was a TV nut. I had spent all of my teenage years reading film history and reading actors' biographies, and all of that really informed not only my ability to do this stuff when it came time, but it also informed how I felt about being on a set for the first time. I was super excited, but I wasn't scared. I was just taking everything in. Mm-hmm. And in fact, I got one of my first really great lessons in acting in that first Dallas episode. I'm sitting in the restaurant. Larry Hagman is at another table talking with someone. And in the middle of the scene, he blew a line, and he stopped for a second, and then he started the line over. And I went, "What? You can do that?" I thought that got you fired. I had no idea you could stop and correct yourself, and they would just snip out the break.
Just give space.
And I was like, oh. Even I can do this.
Wow.
So
that is a great lesson in itself.
It is.
For people to know that if whatever it is in life you want to do, be around it first.
Yeah.
So that you can pick up tips.
Yeah.
Also, if stage actors started doing that, I'd be cool.
You'd be okay with that as an audience
Yeah,
member?
it's just a reset. Let's go.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2, Lisa.
Silkwood.
Another blink and you will miss me part. It was the first of 2 movies I've done with Meryl Streep without ever meeting her.
Oh, okay.
But I got a whole list of those people.
Sure.
Again, they were shooting in Dallas.
It's okay, though. She was radioactive. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
So And it was just another of those parts, not even a part, just a plant manager at the nuclear plant who, walks through a scene. That's about it. It was. I got to see Meryl Streep work. Well, I got to see her walk across a parking lot, but
Okay.
That's work.
But
what about Cher?
She was walking with Cher, so I was like, okay, famous people,
Right.
Cool. And there's nothing even remotely memorable about me in that movie, but it's a terrific movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for us, like asking these questions isn't so much about what winds up of you in the movie. It's really about your young eyes having this experience.
Well, yeah. I mean, Mike Nichols was directing it, and there were a lot of actors I didn't know then that I became really familiar with later. I went, oh my gosh, he was in Silkwood. I soak that stuff up.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in actors and their lives and how they work and how they make their choices. And to get to be on a set, even if you're not doing anything. I sat for 3 days near Burt Reynolds on a picture called Semi-Tough. I didn't do anything except sit there this close to Burt Reynolds going, okay, what's he doing? Oh, you can do that. Okay. And just soaking it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And sometimes, talking with them. And because I'm such a film buff and such I've got this whole other life as a film historian. And I found I was able, even when I was starting out as an extra, that I could have conversations with big name actors about parts of their career that nobody ever asked them about. They seem to like talking to somebody in that circumstance better than saying, I loved you in Star Wars, man.
Right.
You were doing your own version of IMDb Roulette.
I was.
True.
I was.
That's so
such
cool.
an innovator.
Okay, number 3, and this was Dina's pick, I think, Nightmare Alley.
Nightmare Alley. That was my second film with Guillermo del Toro, whom I love like a father and brother. One of the two absolutely certifiable geniuses I have ever worked with, David Milch being the other one. I had done a large part in his previous picture, Crimson Peak, and he texted me one day and said, I'm writing something for you in Nightmare Alley. Well, I knew Nightmare Alley, the 1947 version with Tyrone Power, and so I was very excited that he was remaking it, and I'm very excited that he'd worked with me once and was willing to do it again.
That seems like a recurring theme in your life a little bit.
Not everybody is. I have friends who have run out of people they haven't worked with before. So he offered me the role of a friend of the rich guy in the thing who was married to the character Mary Steenburgen played. And then 2 or 3 months later, he called me up and said, I keep thinking about this, and I think you might enjoy this other part more. And I said, what part? And he said, the sheriff. I said, oh, yeah, I know that part from the movie. Yes. He said, you're not going to make as much money because it's only one scene. And I said, I don't care. It's a much better part. People will remember it. And it's for just being one scene. It's juicy.
Wow.
And so I got to play the sheriff. It's brief, but it's a turning point in the movie, and it's one of those really interesting moments where you get to play the bulk of a scene with just your face. Because I come storming onto this carnival, and I'm going to shut it down for immorality, and And then Bradley Cooper comes up to me and he starts talking, and he's a con man. Well, I don't know he's a con man, but he's conning me and I don't know it.
Right.
And he starts saying things that have a deep impact on me, and he doesn't even know they're true, but he guesses they're true. And so much of the scene takes place on this sheriff's face as he feels someone reaching into his soul and pulling out his secrets. And he's not really, but
right.
That's what he thinks is happening.
Right.
And as one reviewer put it, that sheriff will never be the same after that night. And so, yeah, I didn't have a lot to say, but boy, I had a great scene to play.
Wow.
Oh, that's really cool.
And I like Guillermo. He's warmth and devotion and loyalty and kindness and incredible technical genius. I can't say enough.
I love that.
Yeah, I do. It's really special. And you're really good at relaying the feelings you got from each particular project. It seems like you find something kind of remarkable about everything you do.
Even the ones that aren't remotely remarkable. Did you catch my very special episode of Animal Rescue Kids?
No.
That's on a loop at my house.
Even the ones that aren't remarkable, they give you feelings.
Right.
And if nothing else, I get a good joke out of that one.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
Well, I'm sure number 4 is going to have been a memorable experience.
Number 4 is Sister Act.
yeah. That was back in my homicide cop days.
Okay.
When every time I turned around, somebody was saying, he's got a mustache, make him a homicide cop.
So this was beardless.
Well,
This
Whoopi,
was beardless,
we
yeah.
have to remember, Whoopi is hiding from the authorities inside the convent.
Right.
Right.
And then they, of course, break into song.
As you do.
Not me.
Yes. No.
They wanted it to be a hit.
Okay, so you're Clarkson.
I'm Detective Clarkson. I was partnered up with Bill Nunn's, I forget his character's name, but another homicide cop, the late, great Bill Nunn, sweet, sweet man. And we're the ones who have put Whoopi into witness protection in this convent. That movie had, first of all, it had disaster written all over it. I think there's 25 credited writers or something like
God.
that. And,
Thank God you saved it.
Yeah. Well, I remember my first scene with Whoopi and Bill. They were trying to make some beat work, and I'm kind of over in the corner just waiting and watching. And then I couldn't keep my mouth shut, and I said, actually, my Writers Guild card is burning a hole in my pocket. So what if you said this? And Whoopi said, great, just what this movie needs another goddamn writer. And I don't think they used my line. But it was a very mixed experience. And there were a lot of things about it that were shocking to me. I was dumbfounded by how sexy Whoopi Goldberg was. You can't imitate charisma.
Oh, she's adorable.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's adorable, but she's got she's got
Yeah.
and I was not expecting that.
Wow.
And I won't bring up the dreams I had, but yeah, I had a really wonderful time working with her. I did not have a wonderful time working with somebody.
Oh, say it.
What we can do is we can read the cast and then see if his face or his eyebrows change at all.
Was it Kathy Najimy?
She was a doll.
Oh, okay.
She's
I was kidding.
wonderful.
She is lovely.
is
I just that was the first name.
So who might it be?
She truly is lovely.
Ryder, who else is in Sister Act?
Oh boy.
Or
Cast of 6.
maybe it was the.
Maybe we shouldn't
All
put
right,
you through
let's
this.
not do it.
Maybe we shouldn't put you through this, Jim.
But I do think Whoopi Goldberg.
If he were on fire, I wouldn't pee on him.
Oh, it's a he. We know that.
Wow.
Oh, God darn. It's been so long
I don't
since
remember
I've seen
who's
Sister
in.
Act.
Besides Kathy Najimy and Whoopi Goldberg, I can't name anybody. Oh, it might be Harvey Keitel. Look at his eyebrows. Oh, ooh, I saw an
eyebrows?
eye dart. Did anyone see an eye dart? Because I
There
did.
was no eye dart there.
I will say
I
that
brought no
Jim
eye
is
darts.
not saying anything, but I have heard a similar thing about the actor you just mentioned from other people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, then we're going to move
Moving
on.
on. But I will say about Whoopi that I believe her charisma, she is truly brilliant.
Yeah.
That is sexy as
powerful
hell.
and sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
She's the whole reason I ever wanted to be a comedian.
Also sexy, Tim the Toolman Taylor. Can we talk about? Did you find him to be Home Improvement? Home Improvement.
Yeah. Well, I was doing the series I mentioned earlier, Thunder Alley, with Ed Asner, and it was the same company that was producing Home Improvement, and so there was a little bit of cross-pollination there. One of their kids came over and did an episode of our show, and that's how I ended up on Home Improvement as
Duke Miller.
Duke Miller, the exterminator,
The glue
who comes on the Tool Time show to show his various vermin killing, trapping tricks, and then of course Tim gets I think stuck to a wall of mousetraps or something
As
like
you
that.
do.
As you do,
Yeah.
But
Safety first.
yeah. It was fun. It was.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Be careful, Tim. Tim,
Yeah.
don't touch it. Tim.
yeah.
All right. Back slowly.
You know
away.
he's going to.
Yeah, you
know.
he just can't help it.
No, he can't help it.
just
He is a
can't
tool
help
man.
it.
It's
He's a
never
tool man.
Karn.
Right. I do want to ask because of the next one as well, which is Third Rock from the Sun and Thunder Alley. How do you feel about doing comedy compared to drama?
I love it.
Yeah.
He laughed his ass off on
I-
Supernatural.
That is true.
I prefer drama
Okay.
in a general sense.
Yes.
I'd rather be doing Shakespeare or O'Neill than Neil Simon, but I love doing Neil Simon.
Right. Right.
I generally gravitate toward things with a little heft to them, but I love doing comedy. I was cast on Thunder Alley almost against my sense of probability because I had auditioned for a lot of sitcoms and had never gotten even a guest shot on
Wow.
one. And I had the casting director of one sitcom call my agents and say, I thought you said he was funny.
Oh no.
And
God,
so
dang it.
I thought, well, okay, it's a good thing I like drama because it looks like that's what I'm going to be doing. And Thunder Alley, on which I was one of the leads, was the first sitcom I ever did. I guested on a Home Improvement. Then a decade or so later, I did Be Positive with Annalee Ashford and Linda Lavin. And there's a whole side of me that just revels in comedy. And of course, it's the classic story in Hollywood. Oh, you do comedy?
Right.
Oh, you do drama?
Yep.
And if you do one successfully for a while, they forget you can do the other.
Or they don't even. Yes, they don't. They just think you can't.
Yeah.
You are so
They don't
pigeonholed.
They don't have the imagination.
No,
for
there's
it.
no imagination.
On the other hand, Thunder Alley came about because they had seen me in in country, a drama about Vietnam vets that Norman Jewison did with Bruce Willis. They saw that and said, yeah, let's get this guy for The Village Idiot on Thunder Alley. And I never understood how they made that connection.
That's interesting.
But I was happy they did.
All right, well, tell us about Third Rock. How was that?
Third Rock was my late wife, Cecily Adams, was the casting director on Third Rock, and which had nothing to do with my getting cast. In fact, the truth is that there were lots of times she'd ask me to help her make lists for casting some show or movie she was doing, and I would say, what's the part? And he'd say, well, this guy, he's about 55, and he's gruff, and he's lovable, and he's tough, and he's... And I'd say, you're looking at him.
Right.
And she'd go, oh, my God, I completely forgot about you.
Oh.
Well, I mean, that's the business. Even your agents do that.
Right.
So, but they, I had done, just before that, I had done a sitcom series called The Trouble with Normal. And I played a character who was probably deranged in some way, and he was very dry. And I can't come over Tuesday night. That's the night I bathe my neighbor.
That may be the greatest line I've ever
heard.
Yes.
And so then this part came up on Third Rock for a character they ended up calling Happy Doug, who was French Stewart's boss in the bar he worked at. And I thought, oh, there's a little tinge of that Trouble with Normal character I can bring over to this one. I ended up not really going nutsy with it, but it just it worked out, and everybody there loved Cecily. They were so crazy about it, so they didn't fire me or anything.
Thank God.
Yeah.
And look, we could have you back, and would love to talk about your writing.
Did I do anything else? I think
no,
you
there's
covered all my shows.
There's nothing else on IMDb.
I think
that
you
was
got all 300.
But forgive me. Just to say that I knew your wife well because she used to call me in a lot for casting, and even though I'm not sure she ever cast me in anything, Cecily was one of those very rare casting directors that never made you feel small, always just, everyone who walked in, she'd go, hey, how are you? And made everybody feel so welcome and so cared for. She was an actor's casting director. Yeah. What a lovely, kind woman. And I would love to have you back on to talk about her and the book you wrote about her, as well as, some of your other writing and your film historian personality.
And just so you can do your homework before Jim comes back, the book is called Life's That Way by Jim Beaver. It is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
All right, so we're going to read our closing credits. And
unless there's anything you want to add.
What should people know? You're on Instagram. Where else can folks find you?
I guess I'm on Instagram. Yeah.
That's where you are.
I'm on Facebook. And I'm on Blue Sky.
Me too. Yep.
I used to be on Twitter, but I decided I was too crazy to be the only sane one there. So.
Yeah, I kind of left after the hostile takeover. So understood.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I couldn't spell X anyway.
Lisa, where can we sample your comedy stylings?
I am opening for Jay Leno on Saturday night, the 15th, the night before I drop my son off at college. At Flappers in the main room to kick off the Burbank Comedy Festival.
Oh, fun.
And then there's, because I might not be doing the next episode, you can also catch me at the Comedy Chateau in the small room at 7 p.m. on August 29th.
August 29th. Okay. We want to thank our wonderful guest, Jim Beaver. Our team includes producer Dina Friedman, John Maddox, Mason Brown, Jordan Reyes, Ryder Friedman, Haley Freight, and you. Our theme music is by me and John Maddox. I am Louise Palenker, here with Lisa Arch and Jim Beaver. Be well and wise, take good care of each other, and we will see you along the media path. Woo! That was so awesome. Sorry we didn't get to all your credits. There are podcasts that go like 6 hours. You should do one of those. and just see if you can make your
One
way.
day we'll have like
I
a
get
slumber
I get
party.
fairly sick of me.